I want it to come on a Saturday evening. I'm usually home on a Saturday evening. I guess I'm just showing my age. But anyway, this is the way this piece turned out. And you can see some of the things that I did in the end. I added some accent dots. I also added some bling. So these are rhinestones that are designed for nails that you can get on Amazon. And then I put on these larger... Oh, hi Janet! Nice to see you! Glad you could join me tonight. Just kind of going over some of the things we did yesterday, and then I'm going to show you a few new things. But you could see also that I did some pen work. It turned out very light once I put my spray varnish on. So when I did this, the only thing I'm not overly thrilled about is I decided to do some shading. I often do shading under the letters, but it kind of ended up turning out kind of dirty. Didn't really work for me. So if you're painting one of these, I would kind of think about maybe not doing it. It seemed to be okay around the flowers. So that is how that one turned out. And I want to show you this is the second one I've started, and I want to show you this technique. It's kind of like a cloud technique, and it's something that furniture refurbishers use, where they start really light and they kind of do this in circular patterns, and they go out and it gets darker as you get to the edges. So we're going to play with that tonight. But first I wanted to show you, I went ahead and put some holes in this little plaque so that I could hang it up. And I showed you some of my beads yesterday evening. So if I just kind of roll them out here. So these are some that I was looking at that I thought might be okay on color. So even though I have a little stand, a little wooden stand for this, and it looks really cute with the stand, but you know, all of us chicks like our bright blingy stuff. So if you're giving something like this to your mom or to your daughter or daughter-in-law or someone you know who's a new mom this Mother's Day, having a little bling on it will make it really pretty. So yeah, these are some other interesting plastic beads that I found that I kind of like. They kind of remind me a little bit of jelly. So I have various wire that I use, and this one is the extremely bendy, stretchy one, and I know a lot of people who apply wire to their artwork, they like to use these because they can create a bit of art with it by just twirling it and playing around with it. So it's so flexible. So I do like that. And then this is another trim that I came across. It's from Prima. I think I've got a couple of these on my website, and it's covered in fabric. It doesn't hold the twist as well as the other wire, but I still really like it for doing the beads. And then of course there's just regular silver gauge. This one is exceptionally strong, so it will stay in place. So but it is thicker, and if you have some of the smaller beads, you have to make sure that they are going to go on. It looks like this is going to be okay. I think just for the ease of things, I'm going to use this heavier wire gauge, the silver gauge. So trying to eye up about how much I need. I'm never very good at that. It's always a guessing game. Anyway, I hope you all are doing well tonight. Actually, it looks like it's just you and me, Janet, right now. Oh, that's what I get for not planning ahead. I just come on and surprise everybody. So I often just will twist this in place to keep it where I want it to be. And Janet, I'm sure you do this all the time with your pieces. So I'll just kind of do some little curly cues to get it going. And just kind of lock it into place. Trying to get it to go the right direction. It's always fun. Yes, I agree, Janet. I do need to plan more. Okay, so then on the beads, I usually do things symmetrically in order. So I'll start with the larger beads closer to the artwork, and as I move up, then I'll pick some smaller beads. Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be great. Oh, hi, Bonnie. Thank you for joining. Yeah, we're finishing off this piece, and we're going to talk about some other little things like this is a piece here that we're going to do a paint effect. It's kind of a furniture refurbishing paint effect where you go light and it's sort of like a cloud effect. So we're going to do that in just a little bit. Right now I'm trying to figure out what kind of beads I want to put on this. So I really do like these beads here. These are really pretty. But I do want to kind of think about size. Now when I look at these, since I do have some rhinestones on it, you can get away with silver beads, but I just don't know, I'm not 100% sure that that's the right tone. Whereas pearls, I think pearls would be. So this is kind of the process I go through when I'm trying to pick some of these things. And I often will put them on, and if I don't like the way they look, I just slide them off again. But say if we start with the pearl, and these are relatively the same size, but it looks like the pink may be a smidge bigger, so I'll put that on. And you can, you know, like use spacers too in between. Instead of just going large to small, I mean, you can do something like this where you have a spacer, a smaller spacer, and then you come around with a bigger one. Can't see the hole. There, where's the hole? Okay, now I've lost my hole. There we go. So you can do something like that and create like a little spacer, and then come back with, I don't know, maybe this. So I collect a lot of beads, and I do a lot of these hanging pieces like this. They really make the artwork kind of interesting when you're done. So you could do it like that instead of just going graduated from larger to smaller. This, I don't know, this might be too dark, but I just put it on. Don't like that. So let me try this one. So that's okay. I don't know. I don't exactly like that one either. Let me go back to a pearl. Oh, so you haven't done that before, Janet. Well, you know, I think on the next online market spot that I'm selling at, I think I'm going to put some of these together and I'm going to sell them so that people, you know, you can go out and buy all the beads from Hobby Lobby or wherever you get them from, but I just thought I might put some together. Okay, I think I like this one better here. Yeah, I use this technique a lot to dress up my pieces. Sometimes it's prettier than my pieces. I'm kidding. So, I don't know. And, you know, having a bit of bling for Mother's Day, I just think it's perfect. So I wanted to show you that that's a way that you can dress up your artwork. instead of just putting it on a little stand or just doing it on the wire. And then of course you could come, oh, you use silk ribbon, okay, yeah. So I was thinking that if a messy bow, a really pretty smaller springy messy bow would be really nice on something like this too, you know, after you put the beads on. So I just want to show you that, and so that's how the piece came out. It's got a bit of bling on it. It's got some accents on it. And I was okay with the color combination, but like I said, I wasn't very keen after I put the shading, the brown shading in here. I like it on the edge. It kind of reminds me a little bit of a red velvet cake because it's chocolate and, you know, pink together. But I think it really, doing the shading under the letters just got kind of messy and dirty. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not that keen on the way that turned out. Okay, so I wanted to show you a couple of other things. As part of the Mother's Day laser kit, I'm cutting this teapot. I don't know if I'm going to have time to paint it or not. I really want to. So this is a plaque, and it has this little teapot. There's no words or anything on it. It's just a pretty plaque. So it's a nice, beautiful little gift if I ever get around to painting it. But it's a nice little gift to give as a Mother's Day gift, and it's something that somebody can leave out all year round if they want. I have a lot of friends from the tea drinking community, so I'm sure that that's the kind of thing they'd love. And then this, my camera doesn't really have the width to show this very well. Let me see if I move out just a little bit more. So it's mothers are like buttons. They hold everything together. So I really want to do this piece. And instead of using, I'm going to add a lot of extra flowers around here, wooden flowers, and I want to use buttons as the center and just kind of put them randomly around. And I thought that would be really cute to have a lot of buttons on the flowers and just be a really sweet little thing. But this plaque, this round plaque here, because of the engraving and because my engraving machine is so slow, my laser cutter is so slow, this thing took me an hour and a half to engrave. I just couldn't believe it. But I just wanted to show you that those are a couple of things in the works. So, so I was going to show you, I don't know, you guys might already, oh, thank you, Janet. Yeah, I just think that, but I've got so many buttons in my craft collection. I was like, oh, this would be wonderful. I can actually get rid of some of my buttons by using it on this project. I've collected so many of them when I was doing paper crafting. So anyway, so yesterday when I did this piece, I used magenta. I used the spray magenta to do the letters, and the lettering, the color was almost too close to what I was using. This is definitely tone on tone. So I thought, well, let me try something else. Let me use this fuchsia. This looks really bright and beautiful. Let me try that. Well, when it dries, look how dark it is. So I was like, I'm not sure that works either. So I sprayed all those, and I think they're rejects. It just seems a little bit too in your face. What do you guys think? Isn't that a little bit too dark and too bright? I think it might be. But anyway, if you don't try, you don't know. So I went back to the magenta again. It seems like these sprays, the reason I use these sprays is when you've got these tiny pieces, these piddly pieces, and you're using a brush. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good idea, Janet. I need to find something to tone down. It's weird, even though it's fuchsia and it looks kind of purplish, it has a lot of red in it. I'll have to play around with it and see what I can do. But I think these sprays must dry darker than they appear. But I will play around with that at another time. But I did want to just show you, and like I said, I don't know if you already know this technique, and I'm just boring you, but anyway, I've done some furniture refurbishing using transfers and paint techniques and different things to take old flea market finds and turn them into really something special. So this is specifically a furniture brush where you're able to apply the paint almost like using a dry brush, but in a sense you're also kind of quasi burnishing the paint into your piece, and you blend as you move out. But I found that our wonderful Dynasty stencil brushes work very well for this technique too, so you don't have to go out and buy anything else if you want to try this. And I have some larger stencil brushes too that would work great on this. I used this a little while ago, so it's wet, so it might not work as well. But I would like to demonstrate that before I switch to the stencil brush. The stencil brush is really nice and smooth when you do this, but it's just it's a different way of putting the paint on. Instead of putting on a coat of wet paint and allowing it to dry, this you're kind of building the colors and you're blending the colors. So I'm going to use the same colors that I did last night, and so we start in the middle with Poodle Skirt Pink, and you kind of approach it the same way you will with dry brushing. So you have to have a paper towel, which I'm getting. Okay, so like I said, this is still a little wet, but I'm just going to show you how it works. So like with dry brushing, you want to take off some of the wetness, and we're going to start in the middle, and you're kind of just doing this in a swirl as you go outwards. And it doesn't really matter how far out you get with this initial color. So if you're working on a large piece, like a piece of furniture, you can stick with the same brush because your paint is spreading in such a large area, and you're using up the paint in your brush. In this project, it's not going to work as well to do that because we're really working on a very small scale. So I can tell this brush is still a little wet, but I just wanted to show it to you. And I'm going to move to a stencil brush and just show you, since that probably is already in your toolbox. And you need either 2 to 3 coats of this in the center, and I am drying in between. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And then as I come to the third coat, I may want to have a little bit deeper coverage, so I can do a bit of stippling as well. And then as it's drying towards the edges, start swirling it again. And then if you look at it and you're still seeing that it's a little mottled and still a little uneven, go ahead and put a bit more until you're happy with the coverage. Because you're not going to put any other color besides this poodle skirt right in the center. You want the lightest there. Do a little bit more stippling. I'm shaking my camera. Sorry about that. Me and my old art desk here. Actually, my art desk is a 1950s dining table. Real solid oak that I've completely covered in paint. Alright, that's getting a little bit, I like that coverage now. So you can continue to use the same brush and pick up the next color, which is bubblegum pink. Whoops. So it's okay if you still have some of the previous color in, because it can help on blending. So we're going to just kind of go out about this far to start with. And we can blend this all the way to the edges. So you see how you're getting kind of like a cloud halo sort of look as you go outwards. So Bonnie and Janet, have you guys done a background like this many times before? Is this nothing new to you? I was just curious. Or is it a little new? Is there something new about it? All right. And you do want to be careful that while it's wet, you don't create a hole in the acrylic. So you have to kind of quasi burnish it, but you also have to be careful that you don't rub it so hard that you end up with a hole. Okay. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad I'm showing you something a little different tonight. So, like I said, I have fun using it in some of my furniture pieces that I've done. All right, so I'm going to continue with this. It should have less poodle skirt now and mostly bubble gum in it. Some people, when they do this, they blend the colors while they still have wet paint, using a couple of different brushes or mixing the colors on one brush. Thanks, Bonnie. So you can see how this is working out. Probably need another round. And you could still come back with a stencil or something if you wanted, the way the other one had a stencil, but I like the effect on its own without doing a stencil. Okay. I'll have to show you two another project that I'm getting ready to do. I think it's going to be really fun and exciting. So that's getting a little bit better. I'll go one more round of the bubble gum. So I'm doing a little bit more stippling to kind of get a little bit heavier. And all of this engraved text, that's just there to help put the letters on. So it doesn't matter if it gets wiped out in this process at all. Okay, so that's pretty good coverage now. Okay, so now we're going to be using dragon fruit, and I'm going to use the dragon fruit and the same brush so that I can kind of blend some colors, get these two colors to kind of blend. Okay, so this is going to be mostly on the edge. So this kind of background will work with so many different things that you're doing. So since we did the bubble gum, we don't need to worry too much about doing it too heavy around the edge because it's already got paint, and basically you're just going to put as much as you want or as little as you want. And if you want some of your areas to be less or more, you can come back and add in. So for instance, if I want to see a little bit more of the bubble gum, I'm getting a different brush, and I'm going to come back. And sometimes it's nice to come back and continue to blend the colors. So I'm kind of encroaching into the poodle skirt area a little bit because I kind of feel like the fuchsia pop was sort of winning the war here. So I want it to just bring in a little bit more of the poodle skirt. And then I'm going to come with another stencil brush, and I'm just going to do a little bit more of the poodle skirt just to do more blending. And by coming back and going back over some of the areas, it kind of makes the blending areas fluffier. It just works a little bit better. And I'm going to do a little bit more of the fuchsia pop on the outside. So then right around here, I kind of feel like the fuchsia pop's still a little sharp. So I'm going to come back with just a little bit more bubble gum. And I'm going very lightly. And I might come back and kind of do that. So that's pretty much it. You can tell I did some shading. I used espresso. You can use asphaltum as well for the edges. And if you do want to shade letters, if you're doing a piece like this, I always find that shading before you actually glue the letters down is easier to do it on the engraved area. Yesterday, my piece did not have the engraved area, so I didn't have a guide for where to do the shading, but I'm still like really hesitant after the experience of the other piece to even come back with shading. And I always shade under my letters, so I was like, oh. This doesn't feel right. I'm going to get this, I'm going to grab this piece so I can show you. All right, I'm coming back. Thank you, Janet. All right, so this is, that's one of the next pieces I'm going to teach. So it's a cute little birdhouse. It actually stands up. So that is really, I just love the way that turned out. But I'm going to do a complete mixed media piece. This is a jewelry necklace holder. So it stands up. And I'm going to do paint techniques. Thank you, Janet. I just think that birdhouse is adorable. I just love it. It was designed by an artist called Kat of Pickett's Crafts. I just think it's adorable. But anyway, so this is going to be kind of a sophisticated necklace holder, jewelry piece. And we're going to use paint techniques that are very similar to what we just did, where you start with the lighter color and you go out darker. And I haven't decided if we'll use chalk paints, but that's usually what you use when you do this kind of project. And I have all these really cool decor transfers that we're going to use. So we're gonna do some stenciling with like gesso, and then we're going to use the decor transfers. We're going to have that paint effect. So it will be kind of sophisticated. I have a little crown, resin crown we're going to put at the top. It's a class I'm going to offer through Online Market Spot. So I'm pretty happy. I think it's going to be fun. But that's pretty much all for this evening. I just kind of wanted to show a different way of doing the background. And this is the magenta spray. So it definitely seems to work better than that fuchsia. Let me get that fuchsia. Oh. So anyway, I think that the magenta definitely works better. But anyway, I just wanted to show you a different way of doing the background, and thank you guys so much for coming and spending your Saturday evening with me. I really appreciate it. And if ever you have any questions or ideas or suggestions or something, just give me a holler and let me know. So I was just looking to see if there's any other comments. You guys are welcome. Thank you very much for keeping me company, so I wasn't just going to be talking to myself tonight. All right, well, I'm going to say goodbye now, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Bye. Oh, bye-bye.